Hey everybody, Hunter back again from Showtime Studios. Just wanted to do a video to bring everybody up to date on the Lone Star build and what progress we've made over the weekend. Everything is looking pretty good, and got a few things mocked up and some things changed on it. I've kind of run into a snag on a few things and wanted to change them up, make them look a little bit better, and make them flow with the overall design of the truck. So I've been working on that some. And but what I'll do is I'll bring the camera down. We'll go over what we've got done and show you how everything's coming out. It's looking pretty decent so far, so hopefully you all enjoy it. So here we go. Okay, there it is, mocked up on its actual display board that it will be on. As you can see, it doesn't look a whole lot different than the last video, except it's in gold this time. We're using the Testors one-shot lacquer for the guide coat on everything, so it's working out pretty well. So what I'll do is just go to the front here, and we'll move on back from there, just to kind of tell you what we've done. The hood has all been smoothed out and all the mold lines out of it, and we've got it in a coat of the gold. And so that should be pretty much ready to go as far as body work. And the engine is pretty much where it was the last video. Everything's looking pretty good there. I got some more work to do down on the frame rails and intercooler tubes and a few odds and ends, but it's getting pretty close on the engine. And we'll move on down to the wheels. I went ahead and put the Alcoa decals on the aluminum rims. They look real nice on there. And still doing some body work. I've got most of the body work done on the sleeper. If you remember in the other video, we had some indentations and just some areas that needed body work around the quarter round on the sleeper. So I got all that worked out. And still working on the roof fairing a little bit, closing that gap up. I'm sneaking up on that a little bit at a time. And did some work on the fairings. They're pretty much ready to go. In here, right below the door, you'll see a cutout that I did there on the top. I wasn't real happy with the big flat panel, so I went ahead and made that little indentation in there. And that's where a piece of probably photo etched tread plate will go. At least that's what I'm thinking at this point. But I put that piece there. The one at the bottom is actually out of the kit, just to kind of give everybody an idea of what it's going to look like. And then finished up all the half round styling down the side of the fairings, all the way back, and even on the barbecue door there where the barbecue grill is. And then in front of that will actually be a toolbox, and then the fuel tank and the fresh water tank. And I've got the tanks in gold coat now, so we're getting them ready. And I think I'm going to go Spastics Chrome on them, but we'll see. And there's a box underneath of the sleeper right there. If you can see right there, it looks like a white piece of plastic underneath of there. That's actually a 1/4 inch tall box, the width of the frame rails, that I tucked in right underneath of the sleeper. And that will be the box that all the wiring connections are made in before they get transferred up to the sleeper or down to the charging station and the battery pack that's in the display board. And then if you move on down a little bit and look through the window there, you'll see 2 pins, actually 2 tubes sticking down. Those are the support tubes, and they do one of 3 things. They are there to attach the center of the model to the display board to make it a permanent mount. And they also help support the weight of this model, since the sleeper is so heavy with all the added features inside of it. It helps support the frame for when we're going to and from shows, because these things get pretty heavy, so you don't want the frame flexing in the center. So they're there for that reason. And for the third reason, they're going to be the wiring runs to get everything up from the charging station and the battery packs up into that box. So those are already into place, and they'll be painted flat black when everything's done, so they kind of blend in. And like I say, still working on the body work on the cab and the sleeper, but it's getting closer. And I decided on the back of the sleeper, I kind of changed it up a little bit. I'm going to go with the kind of a ribbed design on the back of the sleeper, which will be Spastic's chrome. This is just the panel that's actually the base panel for it right now. But I'll bring you up to date on how the ribbed panel comes out as we get that figured out. And then on both sides of it will be a light run. There'll be lights top to bottom on both sides of the sleeper, and then the rib panel will sit in between those. And on the rear deck plate, I went ahead and put a indentation in the top of the deck plate there for the airline connections and the electrical connections. They'll be into that little box there that you see. And then I went ahead and set it up with a modified fifth wheel mount. And trying to get the camera to focus in here. There we go, that's looking pretty good. And went ahead and used the kit fifth wheel on it and kind of modified the mount a little bit and scratch built some things around that. And move on back, I went ahead and smoothed the deck plate all the way back. I still have a little bit of body work to do at the edge of the frame rails, but I got that smoothed all the way back. And then I also turned that plate into the rear light bar, which was one of the design changes that I made. And there'll be 16 lights across the bottom of it there. And then the half round that's on the fairings will also be brought onto the back of this panel to create the same look all the way around the truck. And then I'll have the photo etch tag mounts there, so that'll look pretty good. And also we'll have a set of backup lights in there too. And as you can see, the fenders are back to being just raw resin again. I kind of changed my idea a little bit on the fenders, and I'm going with a little bit different design. And so that's why they're back into raw resin. This is actually another set of fenders. And you can see there at the front where the fender hangs a little bit below the fairing. That actually will not be setting that low when everything is done. It'll actually be setting a little bit higher than that. So, but I can't do that until I get up to almost final assembly on the model. So that'll be something that comes along probably in at least another month or so before we can get all that lined up. But there'll also be a simulated rubber fairing at the bottom of this fairing that runs front to back, and that will help take up some of that distance. But that's where we're at right now with it. I mean, like I say, it's coming along pretty good. I'm real happy with the way things are turning out. And I did have to make some changes, but I think they'll be all for the better when it's all said and done. And up underneath of the hood, I haven't started the detail under the hood yet, but as you can see, there's about 8 injector pin marks underneath of there that I've got to get rid of. And then I'm also going to add some internal hood bracing underneath of that. And not sure if I'm going to do, fully painted show truck style, or whether I'll go with the simulated heat shielding underneath of the hood, but we'll figure that out as we go along with it. So, but that's where we're at for now. And just wanted to bring everybody up to date, let you know how it was going. And we'll set the camera back up here. There we go. And so, like always, if you have any questions or concerns, just leave me a comment on the video. And another thing I'd like to say is I wanted to thank everybody for all the nice comments you left on this build. It's actually been one of my most successful videos so far, so it seems like a lot of people are interested in it, and that's a good thing. So I'm going to keep trying to do update videos for you guys to, bring you along and let you know how the build's going. And we're still shooting for making Richmond toward the end of February. That's the goal, so we'll see what happens. And with comments and, the support y'all are giving, that's a big help in making that goal. So I thank y'all for that. And like always, I thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.